The legionaries gazed upon the white cliffs of Dover. They had heard tales of this barbaric land, this island shrouded in mist and mystery. Britain. Even the name seemed to carry a chill wind across the waves. Their general, Gaius Julius Caesar, stood at the prow of his ship, his eyes fixed on the prize. He had come to conquer. As the Roman fleet drew closer, the shore came alive. Painted warriors emerged from the forests and charged into the surf. These were the Britons, a fierce people known for their bravery and skill in war. They brandished spears and swords, their war cries echoing across the water. Caesar's veterans had faced many foes, but these Britons, they were a different breed. Caesar, ever the strategist, chose his landing spot carefully. He knew that surprise was his greatest weapon. His ships slammed into the shallows, and the legionaries surged forward, their shields interlocked, their swords thirsty. The Britons, taken aback by the ferocity of the Roman assault, found themselves driven back from the beach. The invasion had begun. Caesar, seeing his men hesitate on the edge of a foreign land, knew he had to act swiftly. He climbed atop a makeshift platform, his scarlet cloak billowing in the wind. His voice, amplified by the natural amphitheatre of the cliffs, rang out across the ranks. He spoke of Rome, of its glory and its destiny. He reminded them of their oaths, of their courage, and of the spoils that awaited them. "Soldiers," he boomed, "we stand on the precipice of history. Before us lies a land ripe for the taking, a land of riches and glory. But it is also a land of fierce warriors, men who have never known defeat. Will you shrink from this challenge? Will you betray the legacy of Rome?" A roar erupted from the ranks. Caesar's words had ignited a fire in their bellies, a thirst for battle that no Briton could quench. They had faced long odds before, had stared death in the face and emerged victorious. This was no different. This was for Rome. The clash of steel on steel echoed across the fields of Kent. The Britons, though outnumbered, were fighting like demons. Their chariots scythed through Roman ranks, their drivers displaying incredible skill and daring. Caesar, watching from his command post, saw the tide of battle begin to turn. His men, weary from the journey and the fierce resistance, were starting to falter. Seeing his men waver, Caesar acted with characteristic decisiveness. Grasping his sword, he rallied a cohort of his most trusted veterans and charged into the heart of the melee. He fought with the fury of a man possessed, his sword flashing like lightning. Where Caesar led, victory followed. Inspired by their general's courage, the Roman legions found their second wind. They pushed back against the Britons, their shields forming an impenetrable wall. The Britons, their initial fury spent, began to give ground. Their chariots, once so deadly, became mired in the mud. Slowly, surely, the Romans began to gain the upper hand. The Battle of Britain, though hard fought, ultimately ended in a Roman victory. The Britons, their forces shattered, were forced to sue for peace. Caesar, ever magnanimous in victory, accepted their surrender and imposed a tribute. He had come to Britain, he had seen the mettle of its warriors, and he had conquered. News of Caesar's victory in Britain spread like wildfire through the Roman world. His laconic dispatch to the Senate, Veni, Vidi, Vici, I came, I saw, I conquered, became a legend. Here, in 3 simple words, was the essence of Caesar's genius, his boldness, his speed, his utter mastery of war. From that day forward, Caesar's name would be forever linked with Britain. He had crossed the sea, a feat no Roman general had achieved before him, and returned victorious. He had added another jewel to Rome's crown, extending its dominion to the very edge of the known world.